May 8, 2012. This is Justice Dunder Chief. Just going to share some thoughts on the judicial process. At the same time, I'm going to show you what it looks like as one is attempting to travel on the side of the road. Now, what's amazing is I can't see what's coming behind me. At any moment, I could be getting killed by an inattentive driver. Someone's not paying attention, they drop something on the floor, paying attention to music or whatever, and I could be killed. Yet there's this unfounded pressure to put bicyclists on the road, and it's wrong. Bicyclists can share the sidewalk very easily with pedestrians. They're about the same size, going relatively the same speed, and you can respect each other's space. There's not the same amount of communication that can happen between a driver of an automobile or a truck, and someone on a bicycle. As you can see, you have no idea if someone's coming up behind me, if they're swerving around, if they're about to jump the curb or whatever. We don't know. It's quite dangerous. So those people who think that bicycles should be on the road, I hope you're gaining a different perspective. It's pretty light traffic today. When the traffic picks up, boy, it's quite a different story. But it's still dangerous even under these conditions. So, with that intro, we have filed a notice of application regarding constitutional issues, where we're trying to have the Fredericton City bylaw regarding making it a violation to travel on the sidewalk with a bicycle. It's unreasonable, it's unfounded, it doesn't even make any sense. Just being physically on the sidewalk with a bicycle can get you a fine between $50 to $500, depending on how the police officer, who unjustifiably, in my opinion, has the power to arrest over such a simple matter. The police should not be able to arrest someone for a $50 to $500 monetary fine. Now, if you're traveling on a bicycle and the police arrest you, which they've arrested me, let me tell you, it's not a good experience. They football style tackle you off the bike. It's very dangerous. You can easily knock your teeth out, lose an eye, break an arm, break a leg, break your back, get seriously damaged, and all for a $50 to $500 fine. That is outrageous. The Fredericton Police Force should not have the authority to arrest someone over a simple bylaw issue. Besides that, besides the authority to arrest, the actual wording of the bylaw is such that it doesn't even speak of driving dangerously or any conduct that would warrant a $50 to $500 fine. All it says is merely being on the sidewalk with a bicycle is enough to have someone to be in violation of the bylaw for riding on the sidewalk with a bicycle. That's ridiculous. If the bylaw had specific wording, such as if there was someone who was placed in danger by the conduct of a dangerously driving bicyclist, then that would be one thing. But in this case, that's not true. And it's quite amazing that the wording is so broad like that. And let me tell you, with constitutional issues, it's statutes and acts are not supposed to be worded in such a broad fashion. And of course, speaking of the devil, as you can see ahead, there's two Fredericton Police cruisers, one in the new black and white marking, and one in the previous white, mostly white markings, sitting there talking to each other. Good to see the they're hard at work doing their job. Now that's fine if they actually did their jobs correctly and protected people's charter protected rights, they would have my approval. But unfortunately, as it stands right now, there's a lot of conduct that the Fredericton Police Force undertakes which is in violation of our basic charter protections. And there's a lot of bylaws in the city of Fredericton that the city of Fredericton, the corporation called the city of Fredericton, and I'll point out the difference. The city of Fredericton is THECITYOFFREDERICTON, the city of Fredericton. That's the corporate name of the city of Fredericton. If you look on a map, you will find only Fredericton, not the city of Fredericton. It's just Fredericton, because the geographical area we all know as Fredericton is not the same as the corporation called the city of Fredericton. It's two different things. Just a little note there, a caveat for those of you who might be interested in such little facts. So what it comes down to is it's quite dangerous for bicyclists to travel on the side of the road. I believe that everyone should have the choice to choose where they believe they are safest to travel, and if it's in their choice to travel on the side of the road and they're comfortable with that, then all power to them. They should be able to do that without government interference. Same should hold where someone does not feel comfortable traveling on the side of the road. They should be able to utilize the sidewalks and share the sidewalks with pedestrians without being in fear of being tackled off their bicycles by the Fredericton Police Force, possibly charged with a $50 to $500 fine for riding on the sidewalk with a bicycle, which is bylaw T4 subsection 15. And on top of that, if one does anything that the officer arresting them does not like, they can be charged with resisting arrest, obstruction of justice. The list goes on, and it's up to the creative imagination of the officer to decide on how wild the charges are going to be against the person, I should say the man or woman whom they arrested. And it's up after the fact they can decide on how much the charges are going to be. A simple $50 to $500 bylaw matter can actually turn into considerable jail time for criminal code violations. And that is ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that. That one thing escalates into the other. And let me tell you, if you've never been arrested, the Fredericton Police Force, in my experience, begin yelling immediately, "Stop resisting arrest." Then they use that premise of when they say stop resisting arrest, no matter what you do, they're acting as if you're resisting arrest, and they use pain compliance, which is otherwise known as torture, and bend you till you break techniques to make you do what they want you to do. And it's wrong that they do that. It's absolutely awful. If the Fredericton Police Force actually conducted themselves in a manner that respected people's rights, respected other men and women, then all the power to them. They would be fulfilling a righteous job, maintaining the peace and acting in the best interest of the people of the community they serve. That's like Shangri-La compared to what's actually happening right now, where most of the time the Fredericton Police Force are misguided in applying their policing powers, which grants them immunity to litigation in a lot of cases, to actually violate people's charter protected rights and act inappropriately in many situations. And in my experience, most of these Fredericton Police Force that I've come in contact with do not really know the law. They don't really know what they're applying. They're just basically given the information that if you see someone doing this, go arrest them. And these are the tools you have to arrest them. You have handcuffs, a retractable baton, pepper spray, a taser, and a pistol. And they're basically given free rein to go find criminals, and it's wrong that they act like that. So I would implore any member of the Fredericton Police Force who may be listening to this to please remember your humanity. We all put our pants on one leg at a time, and we should respect each other. And it's very easy to get carried away in a job where someone believes that they have this power over others. If anyone's interested in to see the psychology of how that works, I implore you to type in Stanford Prison Experiment, and you'll be quite shocked at what happened when Stanford actually did a prison experiment and they took a random number of people, say about 20 people, I don't remember the exact number, and half of them were given t-shirts that said prisoner, and the other one were given t-shirts that basically said guard. And this is an oversimplification of the explanation, but what happened is within a very few days, the people who thought they were supposed to be guards went on a power trip and nearly killed some of the prisoners who just a few days before were the exact same, except they didn't have t-shirts that gave them prisoner status or guard status. So the psychology is there for people to get carried away into believing they have the power and they have to act a certain way. Regular human beings who are caring, loving individuals can actually get carried away in the power of it all and their misunderstanding of what they're supposed to be doing. So I just want you to consider all that and have a great day. It's May 8, 2012. This is Justice Done Dirt Cheap. Thank you for listening.